This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to The Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
And I'm Tim.
Tim, how are you doing this week?
Not so great, Tom.
Is it because of the distressing news you just brought up to me?
What is that distressing news?
That we decided to do this topic, not realizing we did spring 2 years ago, almost to the week.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that that would be to the week.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of spring.
But get this, a lot's changed about spring.
If you've come here for talk about the springtime, the season spring, and I'm not talking about mattress springs, Tom.
I know.
Bed springs, whatever you want to call it.
You'll have to excuse me because I probably am going to get confused throughout thinking, are you talking about like mattress springs or bed springs?
No, I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the season, spring.
Yeah.
Which has sprung, by the way, but we'll get to that later. If you're tuning in, listening for that, and you're still going to get a lot of good new spring talk.
Mm-hmm.
If you tuned in 2 years ago and heard it, throw all that away. We've learned so much since then.
We've gone back through that episode, and it turns out almost everything we said is wrong.
Yeah. So stay tuned for some excellent spring talk. See you next week.
But why else are you having a bad day, bad week, bad life?
Everything. I mean, Tom, I got some bad news today. My bracket is busted.
No, the March Madness.
My bracket has been busted, my friend.
Speaking of springtime.
Yeah, I mean, that heralds spring. All of us getting together and gambling on student athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Who aren't being compensated for their
I think
time.
Now they are, right?
I mean, they can.
Or
There's some
made
endorsements that they're
bribe
allowed
them?
to. Yeah, exactly. But like, March Madness is making billions of dollars for CBS Sports, and that's not getting shared. And like,
well, get in line. I'm not making anything from it either.
I know, Tom. Is your bracket busted as well?
No, I didn't do a bracket.
You haven't done brackets these past few years.
Yeah, because it's your wife that sets up the brackets usually.
Hey, Tom, what did I tell you about her name in your mouth?
I didn't say her name. I just
cool.
said your wife.
Yeah.
She's
because I would like you to keep
her name out of my fucking mouth. But she's a big b-ball head.
She's
got a big head like a basketball.
All right, Tom. All right. She does not.
Is she even a big basketball?
No. Yeah. She's like me. She likes the springtime. Spring, and I think this is just like, hey, let's all. She also likes communal activities.
Right. But I feel like it occurred to me a few years ago, like, because she always sets these up. She's been doing it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And
she just wants to do something special for
I
you,
know,
Tom.
but I think it was a few years ago that I finally dawned on me that I was like, I've never heard her talk about basketball.
Oh yeah, no, she's not a fan. Her alma mater is in the tournament this year. Pittsburgh. The Steelers. Exactly. And they're one of those teams that's like not usually in it. Mm-hmm. Potential Cinderella story, one of those. And you know, she's a girl. She likes fairy tales.
Of course, yeah. She wants to see if one of those men get a silver slipper put on their feet at the end.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so my mom was filling out the bracket. My mom's in this. She's like, "Hey, sorry, I feel bad, but I didn't choose
her team."
And this was after I filled out the brackets.
Yeah, my mom wants to win.
Yeah, my wife is like, they're in the. She fills out her brackets without even looking at the team names.
Wow.
I think when you're like me, and most people who just want to be a part of something,
right?
When you're filling out the brackets, you're like, okay, I'm gonna pick the favorites most of the time, the lower seeded team.
Mix it up a little bit,
and then once in a while. But I'm not gonna do like a 16 beating a 1 all that often. Right. But maybe most,
But if I like the name better, maybe I will.
But like In my bracket, most of the 9s I got beat in the 8s because it's like I feel like a 9 could beat an 8.
Yeah. Well, apparently not. Apparently they did a good job ranking them.
Yeah. So, I'm kind of hurt, I want to say, that you don't participate in this because I think it's a nice way for us to go out, maybe get some brews and watch some games and have a rooting interest.
Well, I don't.
Maybe we need to raise the stakes.
I don't want to be a part of your wife's gambling problem, Tim. I don't want to facilitate it. I don't want to enable it, and I feel like that's all this is. She doesn't even. You wouldn't recognize a basketball if one bounced off her head.
I know. Stop talking. It's not right what you're doing. What if we made it $1,000 buy?
No,
and then the winner wins $15,000.
Literally, I didn't do it the past couple of years because I said to myself, I'm tired of giving $10 to somebody that knows more about basketball than me.
But we don't know more about basketball than you.
No, there are some people in that know. I know nothing about college basketball.
The people who know a lot about it, they're in 20 different brackets, and so what they're doing is they're trying different scenarios out.
Yeah,
so
but they still
many
know.
times they're just gonna finish in last, and there's no shame there because they're but in the other one I'm doing really well because I I knew about they know the players' names and stuff.
Wow.
And,
okay. Yeah. Oh, so they're really into it.
Exactly. Can you name one collegiate basketball player? There's probably one named
Len Bias still playing.
Tom, this is a tragic tale, actually. There's probably one named David something, right?
Yeah, I'm sure there was a David. So think about how many NCAA basketball teams. Yeah. There got to be a few Davids. Yeah. There are probably so many Davids you can make a whole team of Davids.
Do you think there's a Joe, maybe?
Yeah. There's probably some Joes.
Okay,
in there
so I know
too.
Some of these guys.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite players, David and Joe.
But the people that win, it's usually people that are sportos. They know a little bit more about
That's
this
not
stuff.
always the case.
Not always, but I feel like it usually is.
Well, Tom,
so, like I said,
I just want to watch a basketball game. I want to
spend
spend time
a
with
basketball
you.
game.
No,
we
with
don't
you.
watch basketball games when March Madness is happening.
Yeah, because you don't have a rooting interest.
Do you do it with other people without me?
My wife and I do it.
Okay. And maybe that
but if there were
that
stakes,
should be enough.
Tom, next year it's a mandatory.
I don't want to come in between you and your wife, be a third wheel.
Next year is going to be a mandatory buy-in. You have to do it,
or
we're not friends anymore.
You pay the $10.
No, it's $1,000 next year.
$1,000.
And then, can you picture how much fun we'll have rooting for the team? We'll be like, oh man,
yeah,
because you can win so much money, a life-changing amount of money.
That's the way betting works. If you bet a lot of money, you can win a lot of money.
Yeah, you can win even more money than you originally bet.
That works regardless of how much money you bet.
Yeah,
it's just winning $100 isn't like winning $10,000.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying. You'll get excited about it.
But if losing $10 isn't like losing $1,000. I don't even like losing $10.
Well, that's why it's mandatory.
I don't like betting.
Well, you have to.
The closest I get to betting, Tim, is putting a quarter in the claw machine.
Tom?
But guess what?
Yeah, that's skill. I know.
It's not even really betting half
You're
the time.
really good at a claw machine.
Yeah.
We're all very impressed.
I'm very good at
claw machine prowess.
And I'm also very good at reading a bad claw machine and knowing when to walk away. Because some of
it's the machine that's bad.
Well, because you can program the machines to be weak during a certain number of clutches.
Tom, if we spend more time talking about claw machines on this podcast,
well, you asked. You seem to think that that's not part of the skill, and it is part of the skill, knowing when to walk away.
Wow, Tom. Hey, we've all heard gambler. We know the skill.
Well, let me tell you another skill. Knowing when to put your arm up through the hole and just grab one of the
Tom,
guys.
if you were live enough to do that.
I remember this one time when I was a kid. I remember always going to the Bayshore Mall, which was always a little bit of a scummy mall.
Mm-hmm. It was past its prime.
Yeah. And I think it was like when I was a kid in like, I don't know, the early mid 80s, it was like, this is the happening place.
Showtime grill. Is that what that was called?
Yeah. Showtime Pizza. Yeah. But by the time, I don't know, I was like 10 or 11 going there, it's like, this place has been open for a decade and it's seen better days, more than a decade.
South Shore Mall was eating its lunch at that point.
Maybe I'm thinking of South Shore Mall.
No, you're thinking of the Bay Shore Mall.
I can't remember which is which.
Well, the Bay Shore Mall went downhill when the South Shore Mall opened. This is all very interesting.
But anyway, they had a arcade in there that I loved.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the same arcade where I played that game that had Wolfman Jack in it. But I remember this one time being at the arcade. What?
The lore
around this arcade?
Yeah, or just around your weird childhood.
Well, let me add to that lore, Tim, and tell you about this one time I was at the arcade and I was playing the claw machines as I like to do, and I noticed one of the claw machines didn't have any glass in the front.
It really took a long time to deduce that, Tom, to notice that?
It's dark in there. There's no reflections, so you don't really notice it. I think it was, I saw across the way the claw machines.
Is it that you wouldn't notice that there's no... Tom,
listen.
You're giving yourself too much credit. No. The world's greatest detective realized that there is no glass in the claw machine.
No, listen. I was on the other side of the arcade, probably playing that Wolfman Jack game, DJ Boy, I believe it's called.
Right.
And I was like, all right. Hey, the claw machine. It looks like they just freshly packed the claw machines. Let me go take a look. And then once I got close, I saw, wait a minute, the glass is out of this one.
Mm-hmm.
And I look over, and there's the arcade operator, the guy with all the quarters.
Uh-huh.
And he's like looking at me, but pretending he's not looking at me. It was a sting operation, I think. It was like a honeypot.
Ah. Well, I mean, what are you going to do? Like grab a stuffed animal or something? Like... It's the thrill of the chase, right? It's,
yeah.
You don't actually want that. It's not like, oh, cool, I got this.
But also
like
when you're
scratchy bear that's like not even like it's a stuffed animal, but it's like
it's filled with styrofoam.
Yeah, like the styrofoam peanuts or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But also like when you're a kid, it's fun to steal when like an easy opportunity to steal pops up.
I was too afraid to steal.
So was I, but like when it was like, I could get away scot-free with this.
No, see, that's the thing. It wasn't about.
Well, but I was afraid that this was a sting operation, so I just played it without the glass in there, like a real moron.
Did you win?
No, I didn't win, and then I walked away because I'm talking a big game about like liking to steal when I was a kid, but like I literally walked over.
Everybody's very impressed, by the way.
When I walked over there, intending to just play the game and then noticed the glass wasn't there, I was so scared to not even just walk away that I was like, no, I have to play it so he doesn't think I walked over here to steal something, but then saw him looking at me.
Right. I mean, what is it? Is Minority Report where he could be like, oh, this is a mind crime you were planning on doing.
Tim, I mean, the operator in an arcade, that was their domain. They had free reign. It's like an autonomous zone. They were allowed to do whatever they wanted.
Yeah, I cannot imagine.
He could have put me in one of those machines and put the glass in.
That's what he was waiting to do.
Yeah, and then my parents would have to play the claw machine to free me. And the cops wouldn't have been able to do anything. The courts, nothing.
Lawless zone at the Bay Shore Mall arcade.
It would have been looked. However he ended up in there is not our concern, but there's only one way to get him out, and it's winning him through the claw. Those claw, they were too weak.
You didn't inherit your claw machine skills from your parents?
No. I think they...
Divine intervention.
Yeah, they grew up in a pre-claw machine era, I believe.
Right.
We should do an episode about the claw machine.
I don't think we need to.
We should get a claw machine.
You want to do this episode about claw machine?
No, I don't. No, I need to really prepare so I can make sure you can't get a word in edgewise.
We're pretty much there, Tom, aren't we?
Did you explain why you're having a bad week?
Yeah, because my bracket was busted.
Oh, your bracket's busted. Yeah.
So, see, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be more fun if this was like personally devastating to me? But then you're like, oh, but I could stand
my bracket's in pristine condition.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be fun? This is why next year, this week, when we're doing Spring Part 3, either you have bought into our $1,000 March Madness pool, or this will be the last. That'll be the last episode because our friendship will be over.
So you're saying
we're not friends anymore.
You're saying our $1,000. You think you're going to be able to get other people on board with this?
It's mandatory, Tom. Did you not hear?
But you understand. Oh, so and you're going to sever friendships with everybody that doesn't go in.
Yeah.
And like if your mom,
I don't think I'll have to play that card with everybody. I think most people will see the benefit of, hey, I could really win big here.
Right. I mean, there's no downside. It's all upside from where I'm looking at it.
Right?
Yeah.
Look, you lose $1,000 if you don't win. But think about how much the experience. It's like 3 weekends.
You're just explaining the idea of gambling.
With friends.
But you're explaining
gambling as community bonding experience.
Yeah, but imagine this. That first, we're all real excited for the game, and then we all sit down, we watch the first round, and people have busted brackets, and now they're inconsolable.
I've thought about this, Tom. The people whose brackets are not busted, it's on them, and we'll figure out a way to do this and
to cheer up the other people.
Yeah. They have to order mozzarella sticks for the table. It's on them.
The mozzarella sticks, and just for the table? How about just for the losers? Yeah, but what if other people want mozzarella sticks?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think mozzarella sticks. You're saying this like you think mozzarella sticks would make up for losing $1,000 in your eyes.
Yeah, it's
you could just buy mozzarella sticks for how much? What's the going rate for mozzarella sticks these days?
Close to $600-700. I think
$600-700.
Yeah.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, you're not really.
I didn't even tell you about these mozzarella sticks I had recently.
Huh.
Hey, you might be excited to hear this because I got mozzarella sticks at the country's oldest cheese shop that just closed.
Where is that?
It was in Little Italy.
Oh, I think I read about this.
Yeah, it was publicized a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And my fiance's got a good friend that was like, hey, I want to go check this out. She's a big foodie. Right. She was like, I've never been there. I want to check it out.
Big foodie going to Little Italy. How did that work?
Well, you'll have to read my book, Big Foodie in Little Italy, to find out. But so she was like, you guys want to check this out? So we did. And, I'm in this place, I'm looking around, and I'm like, I don't think I really need to, buy 5 pounds of mozzarella cheese. And that was the other thing. I was like, this is the oldest cheese shop, but, they kind of just got mozzarella cheese. They didn't have, a ton of...
It's probably good mozzarella cheese, though.
It was, but they had mozzarella sticks.
Wow.
So it's mozzarella sticks from the oldest cheese shop in America?
Now, let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. Were they, breaded or, kind of battered? You know how you can get those frozen battered.
Yeah, no, they weren't like that.
I like the battered ones, although the cheese gets molten inside those for some reason.
Yeah, no, this cheese was the perfect temperature. It was kind of one of those mozzarella sticks where it's you can see the mozzarella even as it's sitting there.
Yeah, it's a cheese forward stick.
Yeah,
it's not hiding behind breading.
They're not trying to cover everything in the breading. Because sometimes you get those kind and you bite into them. It's there's barely any mozzarella in here. There's just a shell of breading.
Right. That's true. And which isn't so bad, a fried breading.
No, I mean, you're not going to send it back, but this was good. Very good mozzarella.
How many came in the pack?
I want to say 4, maybe.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this was a bespoke experience. So you don't have any left.
No, unfortunately, I don't have any left. And like I said, they closed, so I can't even.
I know. I thought maybe you had some in your freezer right now, and you could.
No, maybe I think you misunderstood, Tim. They had them fresh. I bought them and ate them right there. Yeah.
Oh, that changes everything.
What does that change?
I don't know. I was thinking that they had to travel. I thought they were selling
Tim,
So it's a cheese shop, but they had freaking vats of hot oil in there too.
Yeah, well, it was like mostly like a sandwich shop. A lot of people were getting sandwiches. It was like that kind. It was more like a deli thing. Okay. Again, when I walked in, I was
misrepresented it in your original
like, all right,
description.
This is more a place that makes cheese than it is like a cheese shop.
Right.
They made a lot of others.
What did the foodie think? What did the big foodie think?
She loved it. She thought it was great. She bought like a big thing of smoked mozzarella. She was trying to figure out if she wanted regular or smoked, and I think she went with the smoked.
Hey, when in doubt, go for like the weirder thing from a specialty shop.
It's like, look, if they're going out of their way to smoke this stuff, it must be for a good reason.
Yeah. Hey, that's what I say about Cheech and Chong.
That's what you say about them, not marijuana.
They're going out of their way to smoke this
I
stuff.
see. That must be pretty good. It troubles me that you think all mozzarella sticks have to be frozen. You
No, here's what I was thinking.
Purport yourself to be this big mozzarella
I thought it was
a
cheese shop and not a place where you're supposed to consume food on premises.
I mean,
so
I was thinking, wasn't. Like, I ate it out on the street.
No, I didn't think it was like a place that sold prepared foods. I thought it was kind of like you go in there, it's like a cheese shop, and they give you cheese to bring home and then, use as you see fit. So I thought the mozzarella sticks must have been, because you can't tell somebody like, here's a mozzarella stick, go home and fry this yourself and like not have it be frozen. It just won't travel well. All the breading will fall off.
Not if it's put on good.
Well, it doesn't seem like it was put on that well.
Yeah, it wasn't put on that well. Yeah. I think all that breading would have fallen off.
Also, Tom, I buy my cheese online now.
You buy your cheese online?
Yeah.
From Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I bought it twice.
Mm-hmm.
They send me an email every day.
Yeah, anybody's who buy anything from online.
It's like, I'm sorry. I enjoyed the cheese I bought from you. I do not need daily correspondence about like the newest cheeses.
Well, I was telling you right before we started about this new THCA stuff.
Right.
And
drugs,
weed, marijuana, like Cheech and Chong.
The stuff that Cheech and Chong are smoking.
Yeah. But that's because I bought like a CBD like tincture from this company like 3 years ago, and I get an email from them every day that is basically like, we figured out a new way to say something isn't weed when it is weed.
So we can send it to you through the mail.
Yeah. Although it was a long journey from there, because a lot of the stuff was like, okay, now this stuff's kind of like weed. We had to do some weird things to it. It's not going to look normal.
And also, like, that's going to wind up being more dangerous than weed.
Yeah, I mean, some of that stuff already has like proven out to be more dangerous, or places are like, oh, we have a natural process to like get this from hemp plants. Like, actually, it's just synthetic weed that they're saying that about.
And I'm sitting here going, what could be more natural than God's herb?
Yeah, what could be more natural than grass? Hey, there must be a reason Cheech and Chong smoke it. Tim, did you know that the first day of spring? What was the first day of spring?
This year?
You got my trick question already. It's not the same day every year. I thought it was the same day every year.
Well,
I thought it was always the 21st.
It's generally, right?
Yeah.
What is it? The vernal equinox?
Yeah. Hey, Vern.
Yeah. It's an Ernest-themed season, which is why we like it so much.
I thought you were saying this is an Ernest-themed season of The Complete Guide to Everything.
Oh, no.
This is
spring
our 20th Ernest-themed season of The Complete Guide to Everything.
No, spring is kind of like, or if spring had a spokesman, it'd be Ernest.
Yeah, I can see it being but he did save Christmas. But I guess
he did. And he also did get scared stupid in the autumn.
But those were such unusual events that they
had
made
to make a whole movie about it. Yeah.
The rest of the year, Ernest is he's living his normal life.
Yeah.
Not that much crazy happens to him. Yeah, so apparently the first day of spring can be anywhere from the 19th to the 21st, depending on the year.
Right.
Did you know also that vernal, is another word for spring?
Yeah.
You could say it's a lovely vernal we're having.
Oh, I actually didn't know it.
I don't know if you can say it that way, but But I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start just to see what people
Why?
say.
You roll your eyes when people call fall autumn.
I know.
You're like, oh, who's this guy?
But now
Mr. Thesaurus has entered the building.
Well, now I think I might be able to get a leg up on them by saying, "Ooh, I like the autumn, but honestly, I prefer vernal."
Yeah, I don't think that's a thing that will be accepted.
Well, we'll see. I mean, it's going to send these autumn people for a loop. I'll tell you that much. They'll be running to
but like, come clean. You honestly don't like it when people call it autumn.
Not really. It's 2 syllables when 1 syllable will do.
Yeah, but are you going to say that to World War II veterans that call it WW2 when they're talking? It's like you can call it that when you write it.
Right, it's shorter that way. Nah, because I kind of like WW2. I like the way that rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
And Tim, I haven't talked to a lot of World War II. There aren't that many left at this point.
I know, Tom. Unlike me,
when you're talking to World War II,
you don't revere the greatest generation the way that I do.
When you're rolling your eyes at a WW2 veteran for saying autumn. The siege happened in the autumn of 42.
We had a teacher in high school who was he injected a lot of like politics into his social studies curriculum in like subtle ways.
Yeah, not necessarily subtle ways, in ways that like dumb teenagers didn't understand.
Yeah, but I just remember like. This was the late 90s. He's talking about World War II, and it was right around when all of like the greatest generation stuff was like coming out. I think it was like around like Saving Private Ryan, and they were like, "We salute the greatest." That's when they like coined that phrase or whatever.
Yeah, and
he just came and he's like, "Can we really consider that generation the greatest generation when they're the ones who raised the hippies?" Like, you don't need to tell a bunch of 15-year-old like that's a excellent musing.
Right.
You don't need to.
And also like a 15-year-old's like, what's wrong with hippies?
Yeah. And he's right. Now I realize, the hippies.
Yeah.
But like so I guess the greatest generation isn't that great because there were bad parents that
they raised a bunch of
hippies.
Yeah. And and those hippies grew up to murder Sharon Tate.
Yeah.
Some of them. Not all of them, but good luck sorting out who did and who didn't.
Yeah, I mean, they're all that ilk.
Not to get into another argument about, like, I don't really understand how Charles Manson ended up in jail. He didn't murder anyone.
Yeah, I mean, he thought he murdered somebody.
Yeah, he didn't.
He masterminded some stuff.
They should let him out, I think.
Tom, I got bad news for you. I mean, he has been let out.
Well, I hope he's not in New York. That sounds dangerous.
Nah, he's. Where do you think
he's buried?
Yeah, or his
somewhere in L.A. or maybe he was.
Or do they just like throw him in the trash?
I told you I knew somebody that knew his wife.
Right.
His like recent wife that like he married, I don't know, within like the last 10 years of his life.
Sounds like a real catch.
This guy I knew that knew her was like understandably blown away that like somebody he knew.
What if you found out that
Charles Manson.
An ex-girlfriend of yours had married Charles Manson?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was like oh, this person was always like kind of a hippie, like kind of a little weird, but like nowhere near the like marrying Charles Manson level of weird.
Well, that Sharon Tate house.
Yeah.
The Roman Polanski house.
Yes.
Your hero. That's where 9 Inch Nails recorded, I think, the Downward Spiral.
Oh, is it? Well, that would explain why it was so dark.
And do you know who lives there now?
I feel like I heard this recently.
I think I told you this because this is my favorite thing. It's been like raised, right? The property.
Yeah, they put it up on stilts.
No, Tom.
What?
Tom, you're going to call me Mr. Thesaurus again. Razed. They demolished the
Trent
house.
Reznor lived there, so they got to do everything with the RZs.
And they built this beautiful property owned by the creator of Full House.
Oh, wow.
Jeff Franklin now lives on that property.
Yeah.
You should see this house, Tom. Jeff Franklin lives in a lovely house.
I'm sure he does. A lot of bad things happen on that property. I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
That was a cool scene.
Did that take place in the spring? When were those?
I don't think anybody ever wrote it down.
No, that's unfortunately something that...
lost history.
Yeah. Manson murders date. This is good. This is good radio.
Oh, is this Tim? That's a website for people looking for dates for fans of the Manson murders.
See, this is how your friends.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm worried about you being on there now.
Yeah,
signing up for an account.
I'm sorry, Tom. This took place in August.
Oh, okay. The summer, which is the season after spring. Well, I guess that gives away what we were going to talk about after the break. Tim, I want to talk about some interesting facts I learned about the spring.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of them.
I found a lot of these on this place called factpackers.com. Factpackers.com. But I feel but then I looked at another website and I was like, oh, I think Factpackers just like steals all their facts from this other website.
Tom, there's lots of facts websites that have a lot of different. They have all the same facts worded in the same way.
If you're looking, if a lot of our listeners have probably just gotten out of law school,
right?
Great business to go into, going after some of these fact websites for posting erroneous facts and stealing facts.
Yeah, it's a good way to make a name for yourself.
Yeah, in the legal industry.
Yeah.
Well, you prosecute even one of these websites, you tell us about it, we'll give you a shout out.
Yeah. We'll give you a free 15-second ad on the Complete Guide to Everything.
I don't want a lawyer who's good at like suing people for lying about facts anywhere near this show.
No, that's where we get,
the cover.
Would we lie about facts?
Yeah. Look at who we're best friends with. This one of the
You'd
most
also get to be our
lawyers.
best friend too.
Yeah,
that's implicit in it. But you got to join my March Madness pool.
That's the only way you can be your friend now. All right, so I talked about how it doesn't always fall on the same day every year, the vernal equinox.
Yeah, it's a very interesting fact.
But did you know, this isn't really a spring fact.
This is the second one.
This is too boring.
The second one is...
I'm not even going to say it. It's
no,
too boring
I want to hear
how
I'll judge how boring it is.
It actually takes the Earth an average of 365.25 days to go around the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit more, 4 hours more, 6 hours more.
Yeah, that's what a leap year is for.
Shit, I guess that all makes sense now, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. I thought a leap year added a day.
Yeah.
Oh, because I see. I get it. Huh. This was all just a cover for the facts lawyer. So if he's listening to it, he could be like, well, Tom seemed genuinely impressed by that fact.
Wait, so now we have to convince the lawyer that we're dumb?
Yeah. Well, no, that we're too dumb to go after. We couldn't we couldn't make up our own facts.
Okay, yeah.
Because whenever we hear a fact, we're both like blown away.
Yeah, we're gobsmacked.
So how on earth could we come up with our own
can
facts?
Run a false fact mining operation?
Yeah. And that, since we're talking about the vernal equinox, all this business about standing an egg up on its head during the equinox, bullshit.
Hooey?
Standing an egg, yeah. It's just takes the right egg and some trial and error. But I mean, people go, oh, I heard on the vernal equinox you can stand an egg on its head because of where the sun is. And somehow, presumably, that affects gravity. I'm going to try it. And these people don't think, well, I don't try it the other days of the year. I have no idea whether this is actually that hard or not.
Yeah.
You ever go to the mystery spot in San Francisco?
No, is that in San Francisco?
Or it's like outside San Francisco. It's close to San Francisco.
I've never been.
I've been there.
I saw a Dennis the Menace comic.
That took place there?
Yeah, they went to the mystery spot. I think it was like SpawnCon for the mystery spot.
That's basically as good as visiting. But I I don't think I knew about the mystery spot until I was told like we were going. I was like with other people. Mm-hmm. It was like
your family?
No, it was a work thing.
Okay.
So like
team building, gonna solve some mysteries.
No, it was when I was working for Apple, and I was in.
I like that we're shouting over a motorcycle right now.
It's too hot to clip.
This is a real professional operation.
It's springtime.
Most podcasters with their volume fluctuating depending on how much motorcycle noise.
Well, look, it's springtime. It's warm. Gotta keep the windows open.
Yeah, it's on brand.
Also, again, Tim, this lawyer gets any ideas about going after us? He's like, oh, sounds like they know some motorcycle guys.
We're protected. We're protected by the Hells Angels.
What was I talking about?
The
mystery spot.
This episode is.
I was out there for training for Apple, so it was like with a bunch of people I didn't know, I'd never met before, right. But like we became friends because we didn't know anybody else. So one day it was like, yeah, we got like a Saturday off. Let's go to the mystery spot.
Right.
And like on the way there, I'm trying to figure out like, wait, is this like a real thing? Like. Is there like a place on Earth where gravity acts differently? I guess that kind of makes sense. Like the Earth's pretty big.
It was before iPhones were invented too. So on the way to the mystery spot, you couldn't.
All I could do is look out the window like a dummy,
right?
And keep asking if we were there yet. I couldn't even look at the Maps app and see if we were there. But yeah, it's just like a bunch of optical illusions. But it is like very convincing when you're there. That your mind can't really wrap itself around the angles of certain things.
Yeah, we all like optical illusions.
And an optical illusion you can go inside of, that's one of the best kind of optical illusions. I was going to say I was there in the spring, but that's not true.
Just say.
I was there in the spring.
Nice.
Yeah. That's a great time to go to the mystery spot, the mystery spot. Also, some people...
in Santa Cruz, Tom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we went to Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
People went to what's that lady's house? She kept building the house, and like doors lead to nowhere. And stuff.
Yeah. What's her face?
Yeah, people went there, and I don't know why I didn't go with them. That sounds like it was right up my alley.
Right.
Yeah.
She was like an heiress. Who is this? Right.
Yeah. Patty Hearst.
We don't know very many heiresses.
Paris Hilton.
Yeah,
I forget, but it was like she thought like if she didn't keep building, that ghost would get her or something. Yeah. So she kept building to confuse the ghost, something like that.
Yeah. Paris Hilton back
on top.
Yeah. I feel like all those early 2000s starlets.
Yeah.
We as a society we now stan.
Yeah, and the Paris Hilton thing, it's like, look, I get it. People were mean to her, and they shouldn't have been that way. And
bad things. There's more to it than just like people laughed at her.
Yeah. But like I'm talking about like the general public, that it's like, yes, she's a actual person. She's not a cartoon character. You shouldn't. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, look. She's rich. She's fine. It's fine. You can be like, yeah, people shouldn't have been, people shouldn't have done the bad things to her, and like the general public shouldn't have said bad things about her and like made fun of her and like critiqued her body on all that stuff. But like, come on. Like, I don't...
The views of Tom Reynolds do not reflect.
I'm not saying come on about that stuff. I'm saying come on about, like, everybody's like, we're very sorry. So now, guess what? She's actually really smart.
They do claim that she's smart and that it has been an act the whole time.
I'm sure she
and Tom, she's a billionaire, so are you a billionaire?
Well,
so how smart are you?
I feel like a lot of people are like, well, how, she played all of us like fiddles. She knew what she was doing. And it's like, did she play us like fiddles? Like, did she become soup? Did she
become soup?
I was going to say super rich. Okay. I was going to say, like, is most of her wealth made up from
the simple life?
The simple life, or is it from her grandfather starting Hilton Hotels? Like, it's fine. We can be sorry without being like, no, actually, she's the next Einstein.
Yeah. Are you a Hilton's Rewards member?
No.
Yeah, I'm a Bonvoy man myself, Tom. I assume you are too, huh? A real Marriott man.
Yeah, well, that money went to buying her a fucking dopey ape or whatever they were called.
Bored ape.
Bored ape, yeah.
Hey, I bought one of those on her recommendation.
Yeah, you were like,
should I be concerned?
She's pretty rich, so she must
she
know
makes
the
good
best
investments. Yeah.
I did the same because Jimmy Fallon bought one.
Yeah. Tom, the week before in 2021, we did our spring episode. The first time we did a spring episode. Mm-hmm. You want to know what the topic was?
Spring.
Nope. NFTs and then parentheses non-fungible tokens because we felt the need to. We were ahead of the curve on both.
Yeah, we should have been buying them.
I would like to go back and listen to that episode because I was skeptical of them, and I think you were like, "Nah, I think this might be the future of everything."
No, I was not like that.
It tends to be.
I think there are uses for non-fungible tokens. I don't think any of those uses are like, I don't know, in any way relevant right now.
Hey, Tom, what's your favorite springtime drink?
Ooh. I don't know.
Do you want me to get you started here?
Sure.
By telling you mine?
Okay. I was going to say lemonade, but that's a summertime drink.
Oh.
Was yours just going to be lemonade?
Mine was lemonade. No, well, in a way, mine is an Arnold Palmer.
Oh, okay. Half lemonade, half iced tea.
Either that or a mint julep.
Yeah, those are nice.
Because we all love the Kentucky Derby, which takes place in the spring.
It sure does. The Arnold Palmer, like, it is kind of crazy. You would think at first blush, iced tea and lemonade, well, those are two completely different things. But then you think like, oh, but like lemon's nice in an iced tea.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, and what's better than lemon and sugar?
Yeah,
in an iced tea
in a nice Arizona 99-cent can.
Yeah. Do you remember when all that stuff was going on with Arizona doing something that angered people?
Not really.
I think it was something like, I mean, like people were legitimately angry. Remember, like we all like. Do you remember? You know how like we all sometimes get like really hyper focused on something, like it's going to be the end of the world.
Like, this company's the enemy.
Yeah, but Arizona, the state, did something bad. And I think it was something about like,
and everybody took it out on the iced tea.
And it turns out the iced tea has nothing to do with the state of Arizona.
A cool name.
Yeah, which is also like, yeah, I thought Arizona was a cool name. We didn't realize it was a state.
Well, I don't think you should blame any drink for something a state does.
There
are very few things you can blame drinks on, except for my third wife.
That joke was constructed in an odd way. I'll try to figure that out.
Third marriage is what I should have said. It sounds like drink somehow created my third wife.
Right.
But
so what you're saying is
marriage.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I think drinking can be linked to a lot of bad.
No, drinking's never ruined anybody's life, Tim.
Not drinking Arnold Palmers, though.
Yeah. No, they're good.
So did you think of your favorite springtime drink? You're just going to say Arnold Palmer.
No, here's what I'm going to say, because it's a drink that I've been drinking this week, so it's relevant. Mm-hmm. This isn't something you're going to hear in the episode from 2 years ago, I'll tell you that much. So I didn't even know it existed. I can't get into all the trouble I'm having with seltzer right now. But I got there's a new LaCroix flavor.
Okay.
Beach plum.
Beach plum? That sounds like a summertime drink.
Yeah, but it's good. And you want to know why? You want to know what it tastes like?
What does it taste like?
High C.
So if they just relented and started putting sugar in their drink?
I don't know, but there was other seltzer at the store when I was looking at seltzer. Again, I don't want to get into the whole thing.
What is going on with you and seltzer, Tom?
The seltzer.
Top line it for me.
Seltzer,
don't get into it, please.
The seltzer at the place closest to me to buy seltzer has gone through the roof price-wise.
Oh, hey, man, that's Joe Brandon's America.
Yeah, but I love seltzer, and I drink so much of it. And part of the reason why I was able to switch from soda to seltzer was able to say, like, this is better for me, but also, look, it's a little cheaper.
Right.
And save some money. But now I'm looking at the prices and going, well, I might as well just buy soda. And then when I'm going, well, I might as well just buy soda, I go, well, I might as well just buy beer.
Yeah. And that's how you got into this whole mess. Your third marriage.
You know, when they talk about how, like, people in the Middle Ages had beer for breakfast. That was, like, very low alcohol content beer, right?
What are you talking about? I didn't hear this fact.
Have
you been getting this from factjack.com?
No, Tim, FactJack is a X-rated site. Please don't mention it on here. For true fact lovers.
Wait, so there's Fact Packer?
Fact Packer.
Fact Jack. What's going on with Jack Packer?
I don't even know. I also got some of these, some facts from romper.com.
Ooh.
You want to
remember when rompers were all the rage for the ladies in Brooklyn?
Yeah, and then they realized, like, I have to get naked to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
I remember, there was like a summer where like it was like romper season, and then it'd be at a bar, like having a drink on a Saturday afternoon, and someone's girlfriend would come back traumatized.
Yeah, like somebody opened the door and I was completely naked sitting on the toilet. Romper.com. Here's the what I got from them. They were talking about spring babies, who is me and you.
Yeah, we're a couple of spring babies.
Yeah. Spring babies tend to be leaders, optimistic, anorexic,
okay,
less likely to develop allergies, and have later bedtimes.
Tom, you and I, a couple night owls.
Exactly, because we're spring babies.
Leadership qualities, I'm not so sure.
Well, the two of us vie for leadership of this podcast every week.
That's true.
It's a real match of the Titans, match of the leadership Titans.
It's a real pissing contest every week.
Well, yeah, after the show ends and we have our weekly pissing contest.
Well, we just drink a lot of beer while we're doing this.
I thought we were drinking a lot of beer because of the pissing contest. It was who can piss the longest.
Well, it's a lot of different events. It's who can piss the farthest, the longest, the greatest amount.
Yeah.
So we're measuring on a lot of different criteria
which I feel like is how we wind up at a tie every week.
Exactly. Well, how do you judge piss at the end of the day?
Well, you gave a bunch of different criteria.
Yeah, I know. You can't just choose one. It's a multifaceted kind of thing.
Smell, how dark it is.
Yeah.
You ever take a leak and you go like, ooh, it smells bad. I gotta drink some water.
No, but you know me. I'm incredibly well hydrated. Do you know this about me?
You always talk about it.
I'm too well hydrated.
I think you're just not sniffing your piss closely enough. I think if you really got down there,
you gotta get in there and
it's like a real big whiff. You might be surprised.
I don't think so. Because I'm getting a visual on it too, Tom.
All right. Well, keep that to yourself. I also read, but again, I think this was from like Fact Packers or somewhere less reliable, that spring babies have a lot more mental illnesses.
Okay.
Than
tracks.
Than on average than other, like apparently they did like some huge study I think just kind of trying to like correlate everything and figure out if there's like any rhyme or reason. And it was like, oh, there's like a much more chance if you're a spring baby to be like bipolar, anxious, depressed, all, the full gamut.
Run the gamut of the brain stuff.
Yeah. You ever have a spring fever?
Now, what is that? Is that when you fall in love with people?
That could be part of it, Tim. Spring fever, apparently, the common symptoms are restlessness, which, like, that makes sense. It's like, oh, it's spring. Like, I want to get out there. I've been cooped up. Daydreaming. Again, it's like, it's nice out. Go to the park and daydream for a little bit. Appetite loss.
Huh.
High heart rate, and so on. Yeah, then it like gets into more medical.
Yeah.
like bluish lips. Difficulty hearing.
I don't think I've had spring fever. I do kind of get, especially these first few nice days where I'm like, if I have any obligation where I can't be outside, I'm just like, but it's nice out. And
it sounds like you got spring fever, Tim. That sounds
really,
like a textbook
such a
case.
Joyful, that first nice spring day. You go to the park, everybody's awoken from their slumbers, their winter slumbers.
There is something wrong with my brain because, Tim, this whole week I've been like going out for walks and having a nice time. Today is beautiful in New York. Well, it rained a little bit, but like right now we're recording and it's nighttime. It's still like almost 60 degrees outside. And we're recording an episode about spring out at the beginning of spring. Until you just said that, it didn't occur to me like, oh, this is the beginning of spring. It's gonna like stay warm.
51 minutes into the episode.
Yeah. Like, oh. I think just because like the past few years our weather has been just so wacky that like I'm just kind of used to like, oh yeah, sometimes it just gets very warm or very cold.
I don't think that's wacky weather. I think that's starting when do you remember this COVID-19, the novel coronavirus? I think particularly people like you and I just stopped doing anything. So the world has been like passing us by, and we're just like, oh, weird, it's snowing. Ooh, weird, it's like it's 100 degrees today, and like, no, that's just time passing and us not really realizing what's happening.
I was thinking about that kind of stuff the other day, and I was thinking about how like when you're a kid, how, old people are always telling you like, enjoy it now, it goes by fast, or like youth is wasted on the youth or whatever, all that stuff. And then when you get older, you're like, fuck, that was all right.
Yeah, and I was like, screw you, old man, I'll never get old.
But nobody ever listens to that advice. I
know.
And I was wondering if you've thought about that now that you have a young child.
Tom,
if you've thought about like, how do I actually like articulate to my child like, enjoy this, please.
Here's the thing. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah,
we enjoyed it.
And
so like there's no sense in being like, yo, you need to be like, I'm so anxious about the passing of time. And you're supposed to dismiss the old fucks that tell you like, oh, it's fleeting, because if you knew if it was fleeting, then you wouldn't have that much fun.
Well, you probably could get yourself killed. Because you'd be like, or I go skydiving every day.
Yeah, you got enough time to be anxious about your like impending mortality.
True.
Like, and also youth is wasted on the young. I hate that too. It's just like, no, that's the whole thing. Like people are like, oh, young people are stupid. Yeah, you were stupid because like being young and stupid is the best. Like, don't you wish you were young and stupid?
Well, I was thinking,
I wish I knew less and was way younger than I am.
Well, I think you're starting to forget things, so you're on your way.
Yeah. But like I know in my bones about like what the world is like.
I was thinking about that today, about like how I'm not like, I'm wistful for the old days, But I'm also like, like I had my fun. I got it in. Like there's nothing I'm like, like I miss the way things were necessarily, but I'm not like, fuck, I missed my chance.
Yeah, I think that's very much a product, and I'm the same way, but of being like happy where you are now. But if you were unhappy where you are now, then you'd be like, fuck, I wish I was back there, right?
Yeah.
And that's when you see like, I don't know. This is why people who like try very hard to like stay young or like present themselves as young really just like make me sad, because it's like, oh, you want to be young because like you haven't figured out how to be happy not being young and having those inherent advantages.
Yeah,
like,
so it's like you kind of want to like, nah, I need like more time or whatever.
Yeah, it's the same thing as like reliving your high school years. Or I mean, it's literally the same thing, but like being like, oh no, I'm still like, I know all the slang and keep up with the fashions. It's like, it's more than just learn that.
It's more than just slang and fashion.
That doesn't make you like less close to old age.
Yeah,
by like,
you know what?
Knowing that Jinkos are back now or whatever.
Are they?
Baggy pants are back, but there's no reason for us to know that.
Well,
keep wearing your impossibly skinny jeans, Tom. You look great.
There is, Tim. Every day I'm stuffing myself in like a sausage into these things. They're so tight.
And you love it, and it looks great. We all love it, Tom.
I thought they were still the style.
No.
I did. I like bought some pants recently, some jeans, and I did get some like not like stylish jeans or whatever, but jeans that like I was like, these are too baggy. And I did think like, do I look like an old fuck because I think these are too baggy? Right. And then I was like, I'm just gonna buy what I'm comfortable. I barely go outside. What do I care?
Yeah, you didn't realize it was spring.
Exactly. I go outside a lot because I'm walking the dog, but I don't know. I'm not really paying attention to anything once I'm out there.
Do you think I need to impart on my son that he needs to be like living every moment?
Tim, that's like, my job.
Also, like
whenever
cool
you're not around, I'll whisper it to him.
A cool thing about being young is like not being concerned about wasting time, right? Because you think you have all the time
in the world, baby.
And like, it's so great. Like, don't you wish you could like just sit and not feel like there's something I should be doing, or like I should be doing it. Really, I could be spending my time better.
Yeah, I do that even with just like leisure activity.
Same.
Yeah,
and like I always say this, but like I spent so many hours of my teenage years
jacking off to porn.
But lying on a bed.
Jacking off to porno CDRs.
CD-ROMs.
Yeah, they had porno CD-ROMs. I didn't have any, but they existed.
Yeah, no, they did. Well,
and I'm not just talking about Leisure Suit Larry. They had crazier things.
No, I wasn't going there with that. I was talking about just lying on my bed listening to music.
Yeah.
Just like looking at the ceiling, or like looking at the booklet that came with the CD.
Right.
Nowadays, Spotify doesn't have booklets that you can look at. It's ridiculous.
Anyway.
It'd be nice.
It would be nice. If you like the show, you can find out more at tcgte.com. You can find all our social media links there, links to our subreddit, our Discord. Hey, pop over. It is a nice community in these places.
It is a very nice community.
They don't talk about us enough.
At all, really. Sometimes I've talked about this, but sometimes I pop in there like, I'll give them a real thrill. I'll reply to them. And they're both like,
this is bozo.
You're telling me to enjoy my youth.
tcgt.com. You can check that stuff out. Also, patreon.com/complete guide for our Patreon. We're sticking with Wuthering Heights.
Yeah, and we're loving it, right? Books is a podcast. We talk about a bunch of stuff besides the book also.
Especially when we don't like the book. Patreon.com/complete guide.
After this, we're going to read a book about HBO.
just to teach those old librarians that we're still cool. Hey man, I'm gonna read a book about TV.
Yeah,
I've watched enough every book TV about books. Patreon.com/complete guide. You can get that, all the back episodes. Hey, thanks to everybody who's a patron. We really appreciate that. You may have noticed there's basically no ads on our show anymore. The ad market is a little bit tight right now with everything going on. So we really appreciate our patrons for keeping the ships on time.
Yep. Tom, I have a request to make, and I haven't run this by you, but I think you might like it.
All right. Tim, there's another pissing contest over leadership, just springing ideas.
Yeah, I think this is also about friendship. Tom, we're recording this today. Is a friend of the show, Christine's birthday.
Yes.
Christine has co-hosted the show, guest hosted the show.
I thought you were going to say she has COVID again.
No. And she desperately she really enjoys doing the solves your problems. Mm-hmm. Tom, it's her birthday. You didn't get her a gift, did you?
I got her.
You didn't get her a gift. Neither did I.
It's late.
Maybe it's a nice gift for us to invite her on for an episode where it's Tim and Tom and Christine solve your problems. Yeah. So please send in your problems, the complete guide to everything at gmail.com for the special Christine birthday gift episode. Yeah. And make them good problems because
she loves meddling in people's lives.
Yeah, and this is her birthday present, so don't fuck it up, guys.
Yeah, so bring really big problems.
Right? We should do that, right?
Yeah, not really big. Not like...
No. What I'm saying is we should have our... this will be good.
When I go it's something you should call 911
When I go to her party, which you're going to miss, if I say, your present from me and Tom and my wife and your girlfriend, or your fiance, I'm sorry, we'll be like, Tim and Tom got a gift. But then she'll hear it's she's just going to come back on the show.
Well, and then what happens?
You're going to create content that we'll get paid for.
Well, and then what happens if nobody sends anything in?
People will. I just told them.
Wow, you're trusting these scumbags a lot more than I am. What?
Just gave a heartfelt thank you to the patrons for keeping the ships on time.
Yeah, but come on, let's be real. No, we love our patrons.
Oh, yes, we do.
Yeah.
And we love anybody. Look, we love anybody listening to this, especially at this point in this episode.
Absolutely.
You're our people.
Anything else about the spring?
You're not paying us $5 a month. You should be, because
I don't know. They're listening to this.
Because your brain is broken in a very specific way. That there's a lot more of this stuff that you can unlock. Become
sicker. Facebook study says that most couples break up in the spring or 2 weeks prior to Christmas.
You want to know why?
That's the most common.
Spring?
Because everybody's coming out of the winter. They're fat. They've fattened up for the winter. But then they look outside and other people, they're whipping their tops off or wearing short shorts.
I don't understand the first part of it, but I really think it's people going to the park on that first day and being like...
And falling in love with other people.
Just being like, whoo, everybody's got their... I feel like everybody's libido is at a 50. Yeah. It's like, look at all the eye candy in the park.
Hubba. I was going to say, I don't necessarily know if it's that.
Of all genders, by the way. I'm not saying, the girls go...
Me too.
Yeah, there's a bunch of just beefcakes and babes and
everything in between, and they're all scantily clad. That's the most important thing.
Oh, finally!
I think it's more that spring is a time for renewal. It's a time for fresh starts. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of people get through the winter. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've really... I guess I've had some spring breakups. But
have you had any spring flings?
I may have had spring flings even. But I think it's more I don't know, maybe during the winter it's kind of well, if I break up with this person, what am I going to do until then? Or not even that. I think it's just you don't realize, but then spring kind of opens your eyes up and you're like, wow, the world's ripe for the taking.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
And the 2 weeks before Christmas
What am I doing
in
this loveless marriage?
The 2 weeks before Christmas breakups is, I think, mostly I don't want to explain this person to my family.
Yeah, it's a big hassle. I don't want to meet your family. I don't want to explain you to mine. Let's call the whole thing off. That's how my 4th marriage ended.
See you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.